Welcome back to Blizzard Abroad. So I'm just getting in from work. I wanted to do a lunch break conversation last night, but I just didn't have the time. So before I log into classes, I just wanted to come up here real quick and share 5 things that young American men and men in general in America need to understand in order to navigate the society that we live in today. Right? We live in a society where, masculinity is under constant attack. We live in a society where the new norms that are being pushed on us don't align with the way that we seek to live our lives, right? We understand this, and I just wanted to share some tips that, you know, I'm not going to talk about the things we want to get away from. I'm not going to talk about where we seek to end up at. I just want to talk about 5 common sense, down to earth tips for the everyday man, right? Everyday man, like to navigate the rough waters that we find ourselves in, right? So, first, we have to own our masculinity, right? We have to understand the value in it, right? Toxic masculinity is a bullshit term. It doesn't exist, right? It's a term that was made up in the 80s, in the late 80s, like right before third wave feminism was pushed on us, right? So we need to understand that masculinity isn't toxic, right? There's such thing as toxic people, yes, but toxic masculinity, no, it's a made up term, right? And it's usually used by people who want you to conform in some way, or people who want you to act in their, act in a way that would benefit them, right? So we need to understand what masculinity truly is, right? Masculinity is integrity, it is strength, courage, right? Masculinity is providing, protecting, right? Masculinity holds societies together, right? Masculinity is what protects societies. It's what protects our way of life. That's masculinity. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I don't care what anybody says or how they try to define what masculinity is. Men define masculinity. Men define manhood, right? So don't let anybody diminish your masculinity, man. Embrace it. Use it. All right. And look, you're going to be challenged on it. And they're going to try to keep attacking it. So we just need to be ready for it. But we need to be stoic in that sense. We need to be, strong. And we just don't let them diminish our value. Right. And number two, right? Build financial freedom as early and as independently as possible. Right. We all know this. Money talks. And financial independence is what gives you the opportunity to make choices in life, right? Whether you want to just stay here in America and live the American dream, whether you want to travel abroad, or whether you just want to live life on your own terms, your financial freedom is what gives you the opportunity to make those choices, right? It's a lesson that I learned late in life. I wasn't taught it, I didn't see it around me, right? I didn't really understand any of this until I got older in life. That's why I'm making the moves I'm making now. So I don't get stuck at working at 70. Like I see some people do it. They don't have an option, right? And I would say to the younger men, right, as early as possible, start planning. Even if you don't have a detailed plan, have a direction that you want to travel in life. And start planning, start saving, right? Sheik Luch said it in Money, Power, and Respect, right? He said, You're gonna be you're gonna be older way longer than you're gonna be younger. And that's the absolute truth, right? You do not want to be 70 years old, 65 years old, starting to try to figure out how you're gonna retire. Because believe me, if Social Security is there, it's not shit. And it's not never gonna be enough, right? So try to create multiple streams of income. Budget wisely, save aggressively. Live beneath your man, live beneath your means. Do not try to keep up with the Joneses, right? I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a financial planner or advisor, But I do understand that financial freedom means that, you will be able to navigate in ways other people can't, no matter which way the world shifts around you, right? Number three, prioritize real connections, right? So when we start talking about dating, if you're in America, you understand that, the dating game is stacked against men. And I don't see that changing. I don't see it changing anytime soon. So what can we do about that? Right? We can only control what we can control, right? So stop wasting your time on people or things that do not serve your purpose in the long term, right? Do not waste your time, energy, and effort on people who do not deserve it, people who do not respect you, right? Or people you do not see in your life long term, right? And I'm not one of those guys that say, oh, don't deal with short-term situations. All I'm saying is do not let short-term situations distract you from your long-term goals. It's as simple as that, right? And then number four, explore the world. Explore, right? Even if you can't travel outside of, America, right? You could travel to the other side of the state, other side of town, other side of the country, right? Get out of the box. Start thinking out of the box. Get out of your normal tendencies. Interact with people that you normally wouldn't act. Talk to people who you normally wouldn't talk to, right? I was talking to a guy in my emails, right? And my email is blizzardabroad@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to me, I will respond. We can have even if we disagree, we can have a conversation. Yeah, anybody that has messaged me, anybody I've talked to, they can tell you that, whether we disagree, whether we agree, it's going to be a cordial conversation, right? But I was telling him about this app that I do have on my phone. It's called Meetup. It's not a dating app. What it is a way to seek like-minded individuals, like groups, all type of groups and stuff like that. I actually found a group I was gonna do in the Philippines when I traveled there, but I just got caught up and I didn't end up being able to make it. But that's how you start thinking outside the box. That's how you meet new people, right? That's where you meet like-minded people who are, especially in those groups, have the same way of thinking, maybe have the same values that you have, and maybe they're on the same path. And that's who you want to align yourself with, right? So explore, right? But even if you like want to be a password bro or you want to be an expat, right? You can leave, but you're not running away. We're not running away from our problems. We're not running away from responsibilities. No matter where we go in the world, right? We still have to be men, right? It's tough for men no matter where you go, right? The world's a tough place, right? So I would say, yes, try new things. Yes, learn new cultures. Yes, meet new people, but stay true to who you are, right? Stay true to your values and don't lose sight of who you are and what makes you you. Um, Number five, stay mentally tough and stay positive. Very important. And maybe even the most important one on this list, right? Life is rough. There's no escaping it. Like I said, no matter where you go in the world, you're still a man, right? And being a man today comes with its own sets of challenges. Being a man has always been tough. I mean, we may have the easiest ever in history of being a man, even though, we're going through what we're going through, right? We're not dying at 40, right? So just embrace your masculinity, embrace being a man. Like you're going to face criticism, you're going to face negativity, um, but you can't let that control you. Don't get caught in that negative loop. It's an option. It's an option. Like we don't control the circumstances that happen around us, but we control how we deal with it. We control the energy that we put out. right? And two, if part of this one, if you're on social media, try to interact with people who at least have something of value for you, right? Who at least have a bit of positivity to share with the world. Like I said, don't get caught in those negative loops. You may even have to reset your algorithm at times on YouTube, on Facebook, on whatever. Because once you start down that rabbit hole, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So I have even had to reset my algorithm at times because I start seeing the same things. Like, I'm a content creator now, and I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of different stuff, but I have even noticed that certain things get pushed to my algorithm way more than other things. And I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, try to surround yourself with positivity. It's not hard. I mean, excuse me, it's not easy, but especially in the atmosphere that we live in, negativity is all around us, all shapes, all forms. Divisiveness is all around us, man. But try to surround yourself with positive people, right? People who respect you, who value you. Like they say, go where you're valued, go where you're respected, go where you're wanted, right? And don't listen to people who aren't at least sharing their own stories. That's one thing I see on social media, right? I see these creators who are kind of like just plucking things from other people's lives, and then they're sharing it, and it's negative, and they're pushing it out to you. Okay? Be careful of that, because there's always so much negativity out in the world. You can always pick any negative situation, right? So at least interact with content creators that have positivity to share. That's all I'm saying, man. And like I said, life isn't perfect, but it doesn't mean that you have to have a bleak outlook on life, right? Because there's always a way forward, and no matter how tough things get, you know, I like to say that the sun is always shining above the clouds, no matter what. Even when it's raining outside, the sun is always shining. So there's no such thing as the sun's not out. It's always out. It just depends on your outlook on life, you know. And like I said, I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've been through a lot of things that that you hear in the manosphere, that you hear in the red pill. I've actually lived through it, but I've managed to come out of it the other side and still have a positive outlook on life. I think that's very important because I've been in dark places, I've been depressed. I've figured out a way that I want to live my life, where I'm not going to focus on negativity. I can't afford it in my life right now. So in closing, in conclusion, you know, navigating today's world is not easy. Being a man has never been easy, right? Life isn't easy. Nobody said it ever was going to be. It may look easy for some people, but I don't ever like to compare myself to other people because you don't know what they went through to get where they're at. So hopefully by focusing on these 5 things, these small tips that you can use in everyday life, right? You'll be better prepared to live your life on your own terms. And that's the goal. But I think it's very important that we embrace our masculinity, no matter what. Stand on business. You're a man, stand on it. And don't let other people tell you what a man is, because we define what it is. Even individually, I define the man that I want to be. Nobody else can tell me that, you know. So even in the toughest times, we need to keep pushing forward, right? The journey matters, but how we get there is important too, right? So let me know what you think in the comment section, man. If you have a experience or a tip that you want to share, I would love to see the comment section just flooded with everyday common sense tips for the younger generation and for the men just in general, you know, that's trying to navigate this crazy world we live in, right? Leave it in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Blizzard Abroad.